Welcome to Balance Body and Beyond. Thank you for joining me today. I'm in my vacation setting and offering this beautiful scenery to you to enjoy your yoga practice. We'll do a full body yoga practice this morning with a little bit of everything from strength to flexibility to just making yourself feel good with some movement and postures. That being said, let's begin. We're going to take child's pose and integrate some deep nasal breathing. So flip on over to your belly, stretch your arms out, and shift your hips back to the bottoms of your feet. Let's start beginning to feel the flow of air coming in and out through our nostrils. I'm going to rock forward just a little bit, tuck your toes underneath, and then push your hips back. And again, feel the flow of your breath. And rock your body weight forward, point your toes, and shift your hips back. And from there, I'm going to let you decide. Do you want your toes tucked underneath to stretch the bottoms of your feet? Or would you like to have your toes pointed? But nonetheless, our spine is lengthening. We're integrating in some deep nasal breathing. And we're bringing our body to a bit of a calming state. Awesome. Let's glide our body weight forward. And now we're going to shift our hips. So our hips are going to push back to one heel. And rock your body weight forward. And then the other heel. Yeah. So hips rock front to back. So while I have been on a little vacation, I have been running every day because that's always my go-to exercise, but I have not been doing enough stretching. We've actually been doing quite a bit of driving. So between a combination of running and sitting in the car, I'll have to say my body doesn't love me, but I am on vacation, so my cortisol levels are certainly low. I'm certainly in a very relaxed state of mind, and boy, does that do wonders for the body. All right, let's take tabletop. We'll bring in some cat-cow, round the back, look to your toes. Inhale, lift your chin up off your chest and gaze forward. Feel the curvature of your spine change with your breath. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, broaden through your chest. Feel your rib cage draw to your hips as you round. Yeah. And then let's hold our tabletop pose and begin circling our hips. Start with a little small circle, and then let's get a little bigger. And as you do these hip circles, I want you to feel a little bit of movement from mobility for the wrists. So circling your body weight over your wrists. Drawing your belly in, and then change directions. Oh, I love hearing these little birdies chirp in the background. I am in the south right now, and boy, little fire ants. They're kind of all over the place. They're running across my mat, but hopefully they won't bother us. All right, hold here. Come on up to your knees. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, bring your palms back to the mat and lift your hips up. We're going to take downward dog. I invite you to pedal out the feet. Shift your weight side to side, and then just take a little peek under one arm and then the other. Let your head hang heavily, free up the space between each cervical vertebrae. And just easing our way into our yoga practice with no rush, no sense of urgency. Just giving our body what it needs today. A good, healthy stretch. Some focus and concentration for our mindset. Let's pause here and push both heels down and adding a little strength overall to the entire body. We're going to mix it up a little bit. Instead of walking your feet forward, which is what I traditionally do, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. So traveling the hands back to the feet. Holding your forward fold. And while we're in this forward fold, let's toe heel our feet close together. So my big toes are touching, a little space between my heels. Yeah, breathe loud enough so you can hear yourself breathe. Make it an audible breath. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Arms come up. And we'll take a side stretch. One arm behind you, other arm over your ear, and we'll flow side to side. Yeah, just like that. So in our flow this morning, we are going to continue to walk our hands back to our feet, and you'll be at the back of your mat. So just keep that in mind. And then we'll bring our arms overhead. Inhale. Let's take some big energizing arm circles, sinking into our chair pose, and then back up, grounding down your feet. Shall we call this vacation flow? That good vacation feeling coming out of your daily routine. It does wonders for the mind and body. It also teaches us quite a bit about what we feel in our day-to-day living compared to how we feel when we are out of that day-to-day living hamster wheel routine. From here, we're going to forward fold. Holding this forward fold, let's just do some alternating knee bends, shifting our weight side to side. Go ahead and tuck your chin in, look to the back of the mat, which is pretty close to your heels, right? All right, holding still, inhale halfway up, stretching out our spine. And then as we fold, we're gonna walk our hands all the way out into our high plank. So holding your high plank, check out that your wrists are under your shoulders. You're going to bring your left leg forward, but to the outside of your front hand. So you're gonna open up your hips. So with that foot off to the outside of that left hand, your hips are going to be a little bit more open. You might experiment with taking the knee down, maybe flaring the knee out a little bit, opening your hips a little bit more, maybe rolling the chest to the front knee. When I practice just in my own space by myself without thinking about teaching, I just move my body and I explore all sorts of just different angles, tweaks, adjustments. So use your time wisely. It's just doing your mat here. Awesome. Pick up the back knee and let's take a twist here. Inhale, lift. And then we're gonna bring the hands straight back down. So some thoracic spine rotation, up and down. But again, feeling a little change here with our foot a little wider, hip a little bit more open. Up and hold. Awesome. Both hands come down. Place your back knee on the mat and we're gonna lean back for a hamstring stretch. Shifting your hips back, picking up that front foot, and then I put my leg between my hands for a little more balance. So you can lean forward, you can be up higher, you can sit farther back. Make it your own stretch. You reach for your foot. Some days I like sitting back like this. Some days I just get a greater stretch leaning forward. Just kind of depends where my body's at, and that should be the same for you. All right, take your hands forward, reset that lunge, and send both feet back for your high plank. So from this high plank, we're gonna take a side plank, bringing your left arm up. And then we're going to take the bottom leg, and you can do one of two things. You can extend it, lift the hips for falling triangle, or if your knee is down, You can just lean back, open up your heart space to the sky. Both are fabulous poses, postures, strengthening, stretching, and a lot of opening. Take your high plank and lower your chest down. Let's peel our chest up for cobra. Now interlock your hands behind you. Push your knuckles to the back of the mat. Lift your chest. Now from here, untangle your fingers and sweep your arms forward. Interlace your fingers in front of your head. Then inhale, take your hands back behind you. You can just squeeze your hands onto the side of your legs. So reaching forward and reaching back. Big arm sweeps, working through our shoulders, our postural muscles. I'm feeling good. One more. Arms back and hold. I think this is just what the doctor ordered. Palms return to mat, hands under shoulders, curl your toes under, push up, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. From here, we're gonna walk our hands back to our feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Now this round, my feet are a little wider because they're in the same position they were in when I did my downward dog, and that's okay. Chair pose. How low can you go? Let's take some alternating heel lifts here. Some strength, some balance, some work for the bottoms of our feet. Very nice. Heels down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's walk our hands forward, coming into our high plank. Hold your high plank here. Let's get strong. Your hands are under your shoulders. Make sure there's room beside your right hand, because we're going to take that right foot and step it forward. The outside of your right hand. Hip is open, hold the stretch, experiment again with different angles, maybe a little rolling, maybe picking up the sole of your front foot. Try not to hang too much. You do want to support your spine. You do want to keep your muscles active. We don't want to do any hyper mobility movement, because that just sets us up for injury, and really just kind of using the body in an inappropriate way. Cool. You can keep your back knee down or lift it up. Let's lift our right arm up. Stretch the fingertips as high as you can over the shoulder. And then we'll move the hand down and up. Tap to the mat, and then turn your head and let your gaze follow this moving hand. Now I just caught myself really leaning into my left hand, but what we really want to do is press our body weight into the bottoms of our feet. Our left hand's just a little kickstand. One more twist. And both hands come down. We'll put our back knee down and take that hamstring stretch, walking our hands back. So maybe taking this forward fold with the hips up higher, or sitting back onto the heel of your foot. So for me personally, this doesn't agree with my knee as much, and maybe that's your stop. I'm gonna kind of try to work through it. Or again, if it's too much, just lean forward. And we do have to keep that in mind. Like sometimes it's not the stretch that is your stop, but it's another body part that's not letting you get to where you want to be. You just got to work through it. It's as simple as that. And don't overthink it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just got to take whatever your body's willing to give. All right, let's take our hands back in front. Reset your low lunge. and then send both legs back behind you. So we're once again in our high plank, setting up this time for the side plank, picking up the right hand. You can put your bottom knee down, right? Or you can take the bottom leg and thread it forward. Good. And open up from here, falling triangle. Lifting your belly button straight up, balancing off that bottom arm. As I'm shaking, I realize it takes a lot of strength. Front plank. And again, I haven't really practiced full yoga in about a week, and so this is good stuff. Chest comes down. Point your toes and lift your chest for cobra once again. Let's take our arms out wide this time. We'll take some circles, lifting and lowering the chest, working some mobility through your shoulders. And then change directions. Just pausing here. Palms return to mat. Push up into your high plank. Secure your position, your high plank. Lifting your hips for down dog. Let's take our feet close together in this down dog. My big toes are touching. A little bit different feel. And you're gonna keep those big toes touching. Walk your hands back to your feet. Maintaining your forward fold. Did you get there? Letting your head hang. Pull your chin into your chest. Your eyes might be shut. You may be gazing between your knees. See if you can straighten your legs anymore. See what you can do. Straighten your legs a little bit more. That might mean you work from your fingertips, or your hands are just dangling in space because your legs are straight. Whatever that looks like, it's all good if you're getting a great stretch. Awesome. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Ooh, very nice. We're going to take another side stretch, but this time send your left hand and take the fingertips between your shoulder blades, or aim for that, and then your right hand, fingertips between your shoulder blades. Good. So one elbow is lifting, one elbow is pointing down, and then we're going to lean over to the left. Straighten yourself out, and then we'll swap. So ultimately, both sets of fingertips are reaching towards the shoulder blades. Your left elbow is pointing to the sky, and then you add a side stretch to the right. Good. And you can look under the left arm. Phenomenal. Straighten yourself up. Untangle the arms. Inhale, lift. And let's take chair pose again. Our feet are still close together. We haven't changed that placement. And from here, you're going to take the left arm and sweep it back behind you. So you have T-frame arms. And let's hold chair pose here with T-frame arms, balancing, looking to your back hand if you can. Palms together, and let's take that T-frame on the other side. That's some work. Yeah, I feel it. Hands together. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, reaching, reaching, reaching. We're gonna walk ourselves out into a high plank once again. And in this high plank, you can reduce your body weight and take your knees to the mat, or you can stay elevated. We're gonna bring the left knee to the left elbow, opening up our hips. We did some hip opening, but we're adding strength now in this. Send leg back and then switch. Right knee to right elbow. If you're on your knees, it works all the same. We've just unloaded some resistance, perhaps making the move more achievable for you. Your call. Very good. Hold here. Let's lift our hips, downward dog. Bring your right leg in the air. Bend your right knee, peel your hips open. If you know flip dog and you want to take flip dog here, you can take it. Otherwise, stay right here. I will demonstrate flip dog, pointing your toes to the back of the mat, lifting your hips and reaching your fingertips away from your head. Yeah. But if you're in your downward dog, hips are still open and you're here. But we're going to come out of downward dog or a flip dog and send our right leg forward between our hands and come up for warrior one. I'll wait for you. Get there when you get there. Strong warriors, relax your shoulders. Open up your arms. And just like cat-cow, you're gonna round your back, bow, knuckles together. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Great stretch. Open and hold. Reset warrior one, arms, strong warrior. We're gonna try some front heel lifts here. See how that feels? Stabilizing in warrior one. A little bit of everything I said. Flexibility, strength, and some calmness to our heads. Hold here. We're gonna turn and face the side of the mat and take some plie squats. So that means our toes are out, legs are in a straddle. We're gonna sink down into a plie squat. And then as we exhale, arms are gonna come back behind us and you can have your fingertips touch the elbows. So some internal rotation of the shoulders. Arms overhead and then take the arms back behind you. Inhale, exhale. A few more. Opening up our hips. Lots of hip opening today. Probably gravitating to that because maybe that's what my body is calling for. Open and hold, but stay in this plie squat. Strength, strength, strength. Excellent. Straighten your legs. Let's face the front of the mat. Come down into your low lunge. Send both feet back, high plank. Flow our chest down. I invite you for cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Holding this down dog, it's time to lift the left leg up. And just like we did on the other side, you can bend the left knee and peel the hips open, a full body yawn, or you can flip the dog. If you flip the dog, send the feet parallel to one another, lift your belly button up to the sky. Awesome. Wherever you're at, let's get to warrior one together. You know what? I flipped those legs around. Your left leg should be forward now. All right, good. So warrior one, left leg forward. Good to go? Open up and then take a bow. Knuckles together. Inhale, open. All right, sometimes, and I'm gonna say most of the time actually, when I make little hiccups during the practice, I don't edit them out. I just let it flow. Because you know, in our day-to-day living, in life, we can't just edit stuff out. We just have to pick up from wherever we're at, make the best of our situation, carry on. So that's what I try to do, even on our yoga practices together here. Inhale, open, because we're all human. Reset warrior one. We make mistakes. And I don't even know if we had called what I just did a mistake, but nonetheless, we're all human and got to keep that in mind. holding warrior one. We're gonna face the side of the mat, but the other direction, we're gonna set up for the plie squat again. We're gonna get a little core work here by sending our hips low, opening our hips. You can take your hands and push the knees out, and then take your fingertips to the temples, and we're gonna go side to side. So if you think back to earlier when we were in our plank and we were drawing the same knee to the same elbow, we are essentially working the same muscles here. Now we've locked in the lower half of the body and we're moving the top half of the body compared to what we were doing in our front plank. Just kind of cool to think in those terms. Hold in the center, stay low in the squat. We're still working on strength. You're gonna twist and peek over your left shoulder. Hello, hello. Center, and then peek over your right shoulder. Hello, hello. That's it. So wringing out the waistline. How about one more on each side? You feeling those thighs burden up a bit? Hold here, straighten your legs, arms up. Let's return to our low lunge. And we'll send both feet back. Chest lowers down. Point your toes for cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Super duper. I think we're all getting pretty used to walking our hands back to our feet, but before you do that, walk your feet together and walk the hands to your toes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Ooh la la. And arms come down. We're gonna do a little bit of balancing work, so I invite you to come to the center of the mat. We're gonna take falling tree pose. So I'm gonna encourage you to find the right placement for your left foot. Is it down low towards your ankle? Is it below or above your knee? But we're gonna work on keeping our hips square and this knee open. We've done lots of hip opening again, setting us up for a great hip opening balancing pose. And then we can take our arms up. Now from here, you're gonna lean to the right. And if leaning is your gig, join me. If it's not, you can hold your arms straight up in regular tree pose or take even an option of prayer hands. So I'll give you some time here to get organized. Rise up, and then we'll come out of it. So we had falling triangle, now we got falling tree pose, lots of hip opening. Let's switch, decide where you want to place your foot. Open your hip first, tuck your tailbone under, lift your ribs up. Establish balance and focus and concentration. And then begin to add that lean. Rising out of it, arms down, shake everything out. Come on down to your mat, and let's take some final stretches together here. We're gonna take a 90-degree bend to both knees. Good. And then we're gonna stretch our bodies over the front leg. Reach out and just hang out here. You can rest your head down. You might take your head onto the knuckles of your hand. Just feel that nice stretch. Roll up. Now we are going to turn so our chest is kind of between our back knee and front heel. Lean back and elevate the hips if possible, or just keep your hips down, lean back. A little bit of tricep work if you're supporting your body weight. Hips down. Let's stretch out the front leg and pull in the back knee. Both sit bones anchored into your mat. Flex the foot of the straight leg. And let's take a seated forward fold, maybe a reach here. Just get in some deeper stretching as we wrap up our time together. Cool. Swing that front leg behind you. We'll set up our 90-degree bend to both knees on the other half. And then lean over this front leg. Stretch your arm out. Find the stretch. Big, strong breaths. I don't know if this is what your body needed, but it sure is what my body needed. An audible breath, a restorative breath, a nourishing breath. Come on up. So rotate your shoulders a bit. So your shoulders are between your back knee and your front foot. Place your palms so your fingertips point to your hips. Lean back, lift the hips. Oh, that sunshine is coming down on me. Mother Nature is doing its magic. All right, let's set up the hamstring stretch. Pull your back knee in a little bit. Straighten out your front leg. I always recommend flexing the toes or the foot, so the toes are pointing upward, and then you can lean forward. Hinging feels good. Maybe tucking your chin in, dropping your forehead. Get a different kind of stretch there. Yeah, just sit with it. Rising up. We're going to swing our legs to the front of the mat. Take a full body stretch, arms overhead. Let your arms come alongside your body. Shut your eyes. Give yourself a timeout. Hit the pause button. Stay in the stillness just for a very short clip of time. Maybe set an intention for how you want to carry out the rest of your time for today with a positive mindset, a positive outlook. And tackle any obstacles that come your way with an open mind. Let's pull one knee into our chest and roll up into a seated position. Thank you for joining me today on Balanced Body and Beyond. Please hit like, please subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste, my friends.